Hey everybody, it's Felicia Stitzel with Vintage Wine Marketing, and welcome to today's Wine Wednesday. So today I'm going to piggyback on something I had talked about last week, which was doing videos for tastings in your tasting room for the winery. Now, the reason why I'm piggybacking on that is because I just completed and passed the test for my Wine 101 course through the Napa Valley Wine Academy. And the reason why I'm using this as a reference is because using correct terminology and verbiage to make sure that I pass the test is also an excellent eye-opener for me, because I realized how many things, little things, about the wine industry that might intimidate people. How they were wording things throughout the course was to make sure that the person with the most basic knowledge of the wine industry, that they would be able to understand and retain this kind of information without it being crazy and technical and kind of over their heads. So how is this applicable to wineries? Well, when you're doing your wine videos and your tastings and stuff, like I said last week, we want to make sure that you're talking and using the verbiage of kind of right in the middle of the spectrum. You don't want to be too overcomplicated to intimidate those wine drinkers who are not connoisseurs, and then you don't want to dumb things down for the wine connoisseurs to make them feel inferior to the information. But one thing that would just be kind of a fun thing to do is, talking about the different glasses. A lot of people don't know that wines, different kinds of wines, need to be served in different kinds of glasses. Do a video on it. On Friday, I'm going to be taking a class here in Twin Falls at Rudy's, which is a cook's paradise. And I'm going to be doing a class that's going to break down all the different glasses of wine, what you use them for, and how you use them correctly, especially when you're having guests over for the holidays and presentation and all that. So just break things down really simply for people. Always have it in a situation where you always want to be talking to the least educated in your demographic about wine. But then there are things about, I've been in the wine industry for several years now, and there's just so much that I don't know about wine, about the industry, how to properly present a bottle of wine to a table when you're serving it. All of these things. Yes, your consumer might not need to know that stuff, but find little tidbits of information about your winery, about its history, about, ask your staff, what's your favorite thing about the wine, and get it on video. What's your favorite wine? Get it on video. Why is it your favorite wine? But then you could do an introductory to, you could do a whole video series. And this is actually something that I did with a winery I was working with in Idaho several years ago, was we actually did videos and Facebook posts about the staff at the winery, because we wanted to be able to give a pre-introduction, be like, okay, well, this is so-and-so. She is a bartender. This is her experience in the wine industry. This is what she loves most. This is her favorite wine here. And it kind of just gave a really simple bio to whoever was going to be serving you. But that also meant that as the consumer, as soon as you walk into the door, you could already know half of the staff. You know their names, what their favorite wines are. You have an idea of what they're going to recommend for food based on what their preferences are. All of these different things just kind of make your wine, your winery, and your brand all consumer friendly and relatable. So I just kind of wanted to piggyback on something I had talked about last week, because I started noticing going through my Wine 101 course that even though it seems like it's the most basic tidbit of information, it might not be. And use that. For this week's Wine Wednesday, be sure to tune in next week for more tips and tricks of the trade.